Good evening. The demolition of an informal settlement on the outskirts of Clifton in Portmore, St. Catherine took place earlier today with a significant security presence. The Bernard Lodge main road was cordoned and several motorists were forced to use alternative routes. The operation took place under the watchful eye of a SWAT police team while a Jamaica Defence Force helicopter hovered. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced the planned demolition in the House of Representatives yesterday. He said a criminal gang had captured lands near Clifton and was reselling plots fraudulently. He said the lands which fall within the government's Greater Bernard Lodge Development Plan will be formalized and owners given titles. The residents, some of whom have been living on the land which forms part of the Bernard Lodge property for more than 15 years, said that they will be homeless after the demolition is carried out because they have nowhere to go, as no prior notice was given regarding this morning's demolition.
Wake up this morning and see be a soldier and police around here. Like with no warning, we see us them start plow down. Then like with no warning. So I know no one at time I come and see us and start plow down. We work so hard, brother. We work so hard, brother, I tell you the truth. 100% me reach a window height. Start to cut the window them, but not me have around 15 more block flip inside, 50 more to fit done it. Which are window height.
1 bedroom or 2 bedroom?
2 bedroom and a bathroom.
When you say so far, you spend how much?
We spend more than 700,000. And plus, I spend 150,000 lately right now. See material right there, so I mean we can't get to start. So it's a zero. I mean I have $1 right now. I'm a tradesman, brother. So my family have things I deal with, brother, and I hope I upsecond, brother. The truth to God.
So was there a meeting?
I don't know about that meeting, brother. No meeting they not come. No meeting. I mean I wonder why they not build a fence wall like how so much house there, so build a fence wall around it, make people who live here so can pay how much it value. It value $1 million. So we broke the rule, and as well them say we broke the rule. Make we pay $2 million or $3 million fees. If we take me 15 years, we pay $1 million or how much $1 million, then could I do that? But I foolish to people, brother, why they left one alone right there, so? So what am I do? I sell it to them friends, but I don't know what to do, man. Yeah, man, come back and a woman and Andrew Wallen experience for real, man. Come back a man and parents, brother. Because watch you feel like Andrew Wallen is poor people in the family. You know, once a man go live in family also. Right now, Andrew Wallen is right now a family where we need a house just like how we need a house now. Eh? Come back a prison, we go live and make soldiers and police run we down. The soldiers and police never run down my young boy for we. Then them have to catch me. Me a whole man. Me can run from soldier and police right now, especially soldier. Eh? Andrew Wallen, know? Come back. That's why wickedness can't do.
The residents said they paid large sums of money for the lots they now occupy.
Police and soldiers come with excavator and so forth. You know, we can't do nothing about that. We have to just go and watch. Because if we try to do nothing, that cause problem. So we have to just watch what go on. So we have to just bear the losses based off what happened. We have to just bear the losses and then nobody talk to me. Then I get no compensation and nothing. So it's just what it is for now. We have to just hope for the best. Hope something come up where them have negotiate something on the person, them also get diminished, hopefully. If you don't have no papers for it, in other words, when I have no paper, it's just a receipt I have. And that's not good enough for keeping the spot, much of the house. So it's just a spot there. There's nothing.
How much are you looking to lose now if they come and demolish?
Overall, we calculate workmanship and material, I look at least on 7-8 million. I didn't not finish as it. Everything expensive. The other day, you know, steel was like 200,000. The top alone take 4 tons of steel. So just check that. Basically $1 million. That. Basically, when we were bought in the land, they have a meeting and discuss whatever gonna happen. You get a receipt. First they say you're gonna get a receipt, then afterwards you get a title. So we were waiting on the title. Because we get the receipt first. Because you have to get a receipt, a written receipt, a black and white, so you can say, alright, you purchased that. So we just did work off of that information. So if that's what them call chick, well, so what it is. You understand?
St. Catherine South's Member of Parliament Fitz Jackson says he is concerned about reports that some residents were not notified of today's demolition.
Well, there are some concerns with raised that they were not given notice to cease and desist, contrary to what is being claimed by the SCJ. That is a concern of mine. I learned this morning that when they came to demolish, there are persons who were formerly allocated lots over in Clifton, which is part of the regularization exercise that we have started for a number of years to move toward titling, which is the process in train now, and they would have been affected. I made some calls and I was advised that they will stay those demolition for those persons who have documentation, and a 48-hour period provided for them to provide that, and then further steps will be taken from them. So I'm seeking now to operationalize that space that has been created so we can deal with those persons who were formerly authorized to be on the land.
Mr. Jackson, in speaking with residents, promised to seek further information that could help displaced persons.
About residents, how they are feeling now?
Well, you can hear them for yourself. Of course, they are distraught and distressed. Anybody that is going to be dislocated, you know, whether it's you or I, would be distressed and distraught. And that is what we see there this morning. In respect to those persons who have been building here and who were given letters of possession. But I don't want to pronounce on that until all things are considered and have discussions with the relevant authorities.
In other news tonight, the Westmoreland police have launched an investigation into the death of an elderly watchman who was fatally shot by unknown assailants. The incident occurred while he was on duty inside a cane field at the Frume Sugar Factory in the parish. The deceased has been identified as 61-year-old Dalton Plummer, fire watchman of Board Scheme in Georges Plain, Westmoreland. Reports from the Morgans Bridge Police coming into our news center are that shortly after midday, Plummer was on fire watch duties in a cane field when he was ambushed and shot multiple times by unknown assailants. The Frume Sugar Factory security team was alerted, and upon their arrival, Plummer was discovered lying along a cane field interval with gunshot wounds to his face. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, the wounded watchman was rushed to the Savannah Lamar Public Hospital, where he died while being treated about 3 hours later. Residents described the now deceased man as loving and friendly.
He was a very nice gentleman in the community, well respected, well known. He loved kids. To be honest, he loved kids. Normally every day he come. When he come from every morning, we wake up and call out for my son or he would have been step great grandson. When he come in, take them, ride them out on the bicycle, talk to them, play with them, any little thing he have been buy and carry from them. He was a very nice man. I know him for 2 years now. He's well known, well respected. He's just a very nice man. We just in shock save me of everything that happened.
About 50 odd years, I mean, hard working, man, no be trouble. No, live good, call upon him, he's a ready man. Hard work, you know, the moment I miss, I work in a cover. I will miss him very much.
And how is the community taking it? Or when you heard that he was killed?
Yeah, man, he shock up, bad, shake up. Yeah, shake up. Bad, yeah, man. I will miss him. He's a good man in the community. Yeah, I see, you see, lifestyle. Yeah, man.
We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. In news from St. James, the police there have confirmed that O'Shane Motumbo Earl, who was labelled as the parish's most wanted man, was fatally shot during a confrontation with members of the Counter-Terrorism and Organised Crime Unit CTOC yesterday afternoon. Reports coming into our news center regarding the incident are that shortly after 4 p.m., members of CTOC conducted a targeted raid along a section of the Goshen Main Road in St. Elizabeth. During the operation, they signaled the driver of a motor vehicle to stop and it is alleged that the driver, who later turned out to be Earl, opened fire at the officers. The police say they returned the gunfire and Earl was fatally shot during the confrontation. An illegal handgun and several rounds of ammunition were taken from him. Investigators also stated that a 14-year-old girl who was traveling in the vehicle with the now deceased has since been taken into custody. Earl is known for his reign of terror in the Barrytown area of St. James, and he was being sought in connection with a number of double murders, including the murder of 25-year-old Chrisinty Wilson, bar operator of Saigon in Barrytown, and her boyfriend, known so far only as Shaba, who were both fatally shot at about 12:15 a.m. while asleep at their home in Saigon, Barrytown on Wednesday, September 7. Earl was also being sought by the Area 1 Major Investigation Division for his alleged involvement in at least 10 murders and several cases of shootings. In the meantime, one of St. Catherine's most wanted men, Rudolph Shaw, has escaped from police custody. Shaw escaped from the Central Police Station lockup this morning. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson has ordered the Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau, IPROBE, to immediately launch a probe into the circumstances surrounding the escape of Shaw from the Central Police lockup. 30-year-old Shaw has been in police custody since July 27. A longtime staple on the most wanted list in the divisions of St. Catherine North and St. Catherine South, he was captured in the Cayman Islands on Friday, July 8, and subsequently deported to Jamaica. He was then charged with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of wounding with intent, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, and absconding bail. He was remanded into custody and was awaiting his next court date on October 12 at the time of his escape. Preliminary investigations have revealed that Shaw was discovered missing from his cell at about 6:30 a.m. during inspections. It has also been discovered that an air vent leading to Shaw's cell had been cut. Members of the public are being advised that Shaw is considered a dangerous man. Before his arrest, he was a person of interest in several incidents of shooting and murder across the parish of St. Catherine, and was also listed as wanted in both divisions of the parish. Persons are therefore being urged to desist from providing safe haven for Shaw and to call the police immediately if he is seen. Moreover, persons are also being reminded that it is an offense to harbor a fugitive. Still tonight, 5 teens have been charged for the death of a homeless man who succumbed to his injuries after he was allegedly set ablaze by them. The Kingston Central Police charged the teens with murder yesterday after careful examination of certain key pieces of evidence. The teens' ages range from 15 to 17 years. It has been reported that on the day of the incident, August 29, the teens allegedly gained access to some gasoline and used it to douse the homeless man before setting him ablaze. We will bring you more on the story as it develops. Continuing with the news tonight, Alexander Shaw, the lawyer for the 2 men captured in a video breaching the padlock of a floodgate in the Bogwalk Gorge in St. Catherine, said his clients will argue self-help in their defense against charges brought against them. He gave the update following his client's appearance before the St. Catherine Parish Court earlier today. They are to return to court on November 9. Bus operator Garth Brown, 52, and Glenroy Denton, 45, are facing charges of malicious destruction, breach of Disaster Risk Management Act, conspiracy to destroy government property, and accessory before and after the fact. Reports are that the National Works Agency, NWA, ordered the closure of the dam head floodgate on September 26 due to flooding in the gorge from the Rio Cobre. Denton and Brown were subsequently seen breaking the padlock on the floodgate and traveling along the roadway. Both were later arrested and charged. When they appeared in the court today, Parish Judge Tracy Ann Johnson extended their bails after the November mentioned date was scheduled. We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. And those are the stories making news. I am Shelley Hill. Do stay safe. Pleasant viewing, and thanks for watching.